Alrighty guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a deep look into this week's shrine. Now I can already tell you straight away that it's actually a pretty good shrine whether you're playing both Killer or Survivor. Now right away, the first teachable you can unlock right now is a level 40 Fengmin DLC teachable that you can purchase through in-game currency or you can purchase through Ordric cells. Now that being said, it is called Alert. Alert is a level 40 teachable and give you a lot of situational awareness and knowing where the killer is. Whenever the killer performs a break animation, you're going to be able to see the killer's aura for 3, 4, and 5 seconds. That includes beginning a break animation and cancelling it, or committing to the entire thing. Now that being said, we're looking at a very good perk. It's going to give you mass information whether they're breaking a pallet or breaking a generator. It doesn't matter how far away they are in the map, it'll always give you a sound indicator and they will glow pink for you too, revealing their location. The only time it will not work is if you have a blindness effect on you. Therefore, if the killer hits you with a perk that gives you, if you pallet stun a killer with Nemesis, I don't think you'll see them. Not 100% sure on that one. But if you're under the effect of third seal and you have blindness, or they have an add-on that applies blindness to you, you will not be able to use Alert. But apart from that, amazing perk, highly recommend it. I still run it now and then. Very valuable perk, allows you to know when to double back, because breaking a pallet will only take about 2 seconds, and then you can see if the killer comes through, the killer goes back, the killer goes from my game, and you react differently by doing a different play to the killer. Very great perk, and there's no indicator for a killer to know that you have this perk throughout the entire trial, so it's a hidden gem. Now, the next perk we're going to be looking at is called Autodidact. Autodidact is a very interesting perk. It works good with empathy, it works very good in a Swift, but it's so hard to get the ability to ramp up. Generally, by the time Autodidact is fully activated, you're going to be done 3 or 4 gens by then, so it only comes into play towards the end of the trial. Now, what does it do? Now, basically, when you're doing a skill check with your hands on your teammates, not on yourself, you will have a large skill check to land. When you land that, the healing bar will go back 25%. I know what that sounds. Why would you want to heal to go back? Basically, every time you land it, it goes up 15, 20, and 25%, or something like that. The numbers might be a little off there. As you can see, this is only level 1, based on the fact it is the unlockable in the shrine. So basically, every time you land a skill check, you will basically be healing more. So if you're running something like Autodidact and Spine Shield to proc skill checks more often when the killer's coming towards you, you can make it work really well. However, you would be looking at Autodidact and Empathy to try and get the combo to stack up. It does take a long time to work. It's a better version of Will Make It if you have 5 stacks and if the guy lets you heal him. However, Will Make It will give an indicator in the bottom right hand side of the screen, a little blue perk that somebody has Will Make It who just saved you or is nearby you. That being said, Autodidact does not show you that this person has 5 stacks of Autodidact, therefore Will Make It does come out on top just because that little bit of desync and information. Hence, it's a good perk in a Swift and in solo queue. It's probably one you want to avoid. Speaking of perks you want to avoid, we're looking at Lightborne. Lightborne isn't a very great perk. Basically, it allows you not to be blinded easier and you recover from blinds faster. So if somebody has a flashlight, it's going to take them a lot more to blind you. Now, some people do get the willies with flashlights. You can look up, you can look directly down, you can also look at a wall and bait. I like versing people with flashlights because it generally means altruism, and if they're being altruistic trying to save their teammates, it means they're not doing generators, therefore they stall out the game in my favor too. You just got to be cautious with it depending on how many people you see. If I saw 4 people with flashlights, I still wouldn't take Lightborne. If I had to take a perk to counter them, it wouldn't even be Franklin's, it would be something called Overwhelming Presence. That way they consume the flashlight at a 100% quicker rate when they're trying to use it against me. Anyway, I don't think it's a great perk. It is a teachable unlocked by the Hillbilly. I forgot to mention this is level 40 Adam teachable. This is level 35 teachable Lightborne on Billy, who's a non-DLC character. This is a DLC, this is a DLC, and now the hidden gem, not even a hidden gem, now one of the strongest perks in Dead by Daylight is on the shrine. If you do not own any DLCs in Dead by Daylight and you haven't leveled up the clown, one or the other, I highly recommend this perk. Right, the clown comes with Chlorophobia at level 35, at level 30 Bamboozled, and at level 40 Pop Goes the Weasel. Pop Goes the Weasel is one of the strongest perks in the game if you are good and successful with your hooks. Now, the better you get at the game, the better the perk's going to be, of course. Now, some situations I would prefer Surge. For example, on a Trapper, I would prefer Surge over Pop Goes the Weasel because time management is going to be very important. However, if you can get to a hook, from a hook to a generator very fast, somebody like Freddy Krueger, you can take a lot of value out of Pop. Even people like Oni, even people like Billy, there are a lot of great choices for it. Basically, it's going to regress a generator by 25%. If a Jenny's at 99% completed, therefore 80 seconds for a solo person, so 79.9 seconds done of the generator, and you kick it with Pop, you'll notice one of the 4 pistons on top of the generator instantly stops. The generator goes back 20 seconds and regresses at the standard rate at 0.3% per second. Now, you cannot use Pop if you have Ruin, but some people run Ruin and Pop, and that way when Ruin goes, they've got Pop as a stability, and if Ruin doesn't go the entire trial, it's kind of worth 2 perks, to be honest. I don't really run Ruin and Pop anymore as that combo. I've noticed a lot of my killers like Wraith, I've actually steered away from Pop, and I've been running things like Surge, things like Sloppy Butcher, Discordance for mass information, knowing where people are, and even Corrupt Intervention, sometimes Haunted Ground, just to funnel people together. I know it looks like a full green build, and it might look a little bit cheesy, but it actually works out really well against some of the rank 1 players I have been going against. Now, that being said, that's going to be all for this week's Shrine. If you're a Survivor main, I highly recommend Alert. If you're a Killer main, I highly recommend Pop. Honestly, I put this perk at a 9.5 out of 10 for how good it is in Dead by Daylight. There's only one perk stronger than it in the game, in my personal opinion, in terms of gen regression, and a lot of people might disagree. I actually value Surge a hell of a lot. Now, a lot of people will think Pop does more regression, but the time management Surge saves, allowing me to go for incredible plays, like a Michael Myers Snowball, for example, like a Ghostface. I still take Pop on Ghostface because I run Discordance, but I can see the value on Surge. Sometimes you can run Surge and Pop, like on a Legion build, Surge, Pop, Corrupt Invention, Thrill, and Tremor, and you down somebody, you hook them, then you go right through the map. You got every generator regressing around, and a lot of people don't know that Surge actually works with Ruin when Pop doesn't. If a gen is regressed by Ruin, regressing at 0.6% completed per second and going all the way back down, and I just down Jeff, Surge will activate, making the generator explode, and then it will continue to regress after that 8% as well. So Surge goes hand in hand with Ruin, as opposed to Pop, is a little bit of a decent. Surge also works with a perk called Surveillance to reveal the auras of the generators, which is very good as well, depending on your build. I run that combo alongside Barbecue and Chili and Corrupt Intervention on my Nurse, with Corrupt being integratable with Strider, depending on how comfortable I'm feeling, and if I know what map I'm going to, based on the fact that, remember, my builds do incorporate no add-ons. If I do talk about add-ons, generally my builds will change, and if you guys are curious about that, make sure you head over to the live stream where I stream Dead by Daylight 5 days a week. It'd be my pleasure to teach you as much as I can about the game, and if you think you know everything about Dead by Daylight, you can help me teach people that don't. Anyways, guys, this has been this week's Shrine video. You have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you beautiful people in the fog next time.